get Carlos Santana from the Mariners. He had been there about a couple of weeks. Jake Bauers from the Rays. He had been one of the top first base prospects in the game. Mariners get Edwin Encarnacion and a competitive balance round B pick from Cleveland. The Rays get Yandy Diaz and Cole Sulser.
I'm Alexa Datt with the MLB.com FastCast. The day after being admitted to the hospital for blood clots, Mariners GM Jerry Dipoto was able to complete a three-team trade on Thursday between the Mariners, Indians, and Rays. Designated hitter Edwin Encarnacion and a competitive balance round B draft pick will go from the Indians to the Mariners. First baseman Carlos Santana and Cash go from the Mariners to the Indians. Infielder Yandy Diaz and minor league righty Cole Sulser go from the Indians to the Rays. And first baseman Jake Bauers and Cash go from the Rays to the Indians. For Cleveland, the move does complicate their situation at first base. Ken Rosenthal discusses a possible solution.
It's really interesting to see where this goes now for the Indians because they have Yonder Alonso at first base. They get Jake Bauers, a first base prospect, Carlos Santana, a first baseman. I would think Alonso might be the next to go.
According to sources, the Mets and reliever Jeurys Familia have completed an agreement to bring the veteran back to Queens. The right-hander signed a 3-year deal worth $30 million. In Familia, the Mets have a potentially dynamic setup man to pair with Edwin Diaz, the closer they acquired earlier this month in a 7-player deal with Seattle. Mets general manager Brodie Van Wagenen discusses the acquisition.
Trying to improve our bullpen was a real priority this offseason. Once we got Diaz in the fold, we thought that if we could keep pushing forward and be aggressive on some of the top guys in the market, the bullpen would be a huge win. Obviously, we still have some work to do to try to push across the finish line, but the familiarity with a player that's been in New York was attractive, and we know the makeup, and if we can get it done, we'd be excited.
The Dodgers and Joe Kelly have reached a 3-year, $25 million deal, according to sources. The 30-year-old is a Southern California native who helps the Red Sox beat the Dodgers in the World Series in October. He will be a candidate for the setup role behind closer Kenley Jansen. Ken Rosenthal breaks down the pickup.
ERA by month, including the postseason. October was a lot better. He just suddenly got that consistency back, and that's a guy who had done some interesting things in his career, but when right, and the Dodgers obviously believe he can be right with Matt's favorite reliever, Pedro Baez, in front of Kenley Jansen. That's a pretty good trio in the back end for LA.
The Major League phase of the Rule 5 draft took place on Thursday with 14 players taken. For the second year in a row, a position player was taken as the Orioles selected the Athletics' former 12th-ranked prospect, Richie Martin. A total of 5 players on their original organization's top 30 list were taken. For more on these stories and for complete coverage from around the league, keep it locked to MLB.com. It's baseball everywhere.